Welcome back to Stormwatch, everyone. We are the Willises. John is over here. Brad is over there. We are going to recap Game 5 of the Carolina Hurricanes series against the New York Rangers, Round 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
You said Game 5, and I'm like, it was really just one quarter or one period. Excuse me.
One period, yeah. So let's get right into it. I mean, the Hurricanes end up winning this game 4-1. What were your thoughts going into Game 5? Obviously, basically the Hurricanes just kind of keep their season alive. We saw what they did in Game 4 to get that win. In my particular opinion, I think we maybe could have definitely won both Game 2 and Game 3. We knew this series wasn't going to be – it should never have been a 4-game series in either direction. It should never be a 5. You predicted 7 games.
7.
I was optimistic about it and said Canes in 6. Obviously, that's impossible now. But the fact that we are extending it to 6, you got to feel pretty good about that.
Yeah. To be honest, I was confident. But it's hockey, and it was interesting. I'll just jump in here because it kind of fits into the theme of how I feel. Hockey is the one sport that has had the most 0-3 comebacks.
It's the sport that has had the most?
Yes, because of the nature of the game.
It's only ever happened 9 times, and it's only been won by that team 4 of those 9 times.
What are you talking about? You talking about in the Stanley Cup playoffs?
It's only ever happened 9 times that a team has come down from 0-3. And it's only ever been 4 times they've ever won it. It's not a common thing.
Yes, but what I'm saying is it's not common in any sport, but it's more common in hockey than any other sport. It can happen.
He's correct. There has never been a successful comeback from 3-0 series deficit in the NBA. It's only ever happened 9 times ever in the NHL, and like I said, that they even get to Game 7. And 5 out of those 9 times, the majority of those times, the winner is still the winner of the first 3 games. So it's highly unlikely that Carolina does come back. However, the series is not 3-0 now. It's 3-2 right now.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And it doesn't matter. Nothing else matters. Okay. We're here now. We're in a good position going back home to PNC to truly bring this back home, back to the Rangers' home at Madison Square Garden. And we've already shown we can beat them at home this series. So
yeah,
it's still a tall order. They still got to win 2 games in a row. They've got to string together 4 in a row in total. But it's not out of the realm of possibility whatsoever right now. I'm extremely happy that it's at this point. At this point, I feel like we're playing with house money, right? We went up 3-0. I've accepted the fate of how extraordinary it would be if we do this. And now I'm just riding on the hope that it actually happens. And if it doesn't happen, of course I'll be deflated, especially with the team that we have, right? This is the team that in my eyes is probably, out of this Rod Brindamore era that we've had, it's probably the team that's most equipped to win a Stanley Cup. And we're largely not going to have the same team next season, just given the way the cap is, right? We're up against it as far as that's concerned. But let's get back to this game here. First period, pretty even, in my opinion. Both teams had some good looks in the first period. And then in the second period is actually when the scoring gets started, I believe it was about halfway through the game, more or less, maybe on the back half of the... Okay, yeah, it was 6:23 into the second period, so kind of early-ish in the second period. Trouba scores, of all people, his first goal of the playoffs after being on the ice for 7 straight Carolina Hurricanes goals. He gets one back, and no less on the penalty kill. So the struggles for the special teams continue for the Carolina Hurricanes. They did keep the Rangers off the scoreboard on the power play.
Yeah.
But the Hurricanes power play it's not clicking in any sense. The only goal we've scored on the power play was the Brady Shea goal, and that's a blast from the point. Just keep doing that as far as I'm concerned. But make sure the shot gets through. Don't take the shot. Rim it around the boards if the shot's not going to get through. Because if it goes off the defense, it's going to be a 2-on-1. You know, if the defenseman shoots it and it hits off their skates or shin, it gets blocked, it's going to go around that defenseman. And we know how it's going to happen, you know, what's going to happen on a shorthanded 2-on-1 or breakaway or whatever. Freddie's got to make.
We only have one defenseman that has any kind of speed going backwards. So yeah, if, for example, if Burns hits a shot into somebody's shin pad and that person still keeps their balance, and let's say that person is Mika Zibanejad, he's walking in on Freddie.
Yeah.
To your point.
And, you know, it doesn't even have to be Zibanejad. It could be Jacob Trouba, right? Now, I don't remember who the other defenseman on the play was, but he does a good job by nullifying the pass, leaving Freddie with the shot. But Freddie's got to get that shot. It's Jacob Trouba. It's his best effort. It's Jacob Trouba's best effort. Yeah. He doesn't pick a corner. He picks a side of the net. He aims for that side of the net and beats Freddie over the right pad under the blocker. Freddie's reaching for it, and it just slides right under there. And it's a goal. You know, it's a 2-on-1. It's a good shot where Trouba's taking it from. It's a hard save to make, but he's got to make that save. It's not an exceptional shot by any means. Okay,
it was Brady Shea was the D-man back. I question his play on that.
It's a 2-on-1. You take away the pass. That's his job. Especially if it's Jacob Trouba. It's different if it's Panarin and you got to kind of play both.
Right.
It's Jacob Trouba.
Because I can see if that's Jacob Slavin, he's going down. He's going
down, but he's going down to block the pass. He's not going down to block the shot.
Yeah. I know. He's going down to cause havoc on the shot. He's going to take away the bottom half of the goal.
It's not the defenseman's fault in this one. It's Freddie's fault.
All right.
Okay.
I agree. It was a bad goal.
You know, it's Aho's fault for getting his shot blocked in the first place off of Trouba and then falling down rather than staying on his feet. Sure, it might exit the zone, but you just can't give up a 2-on-1, you know. But
it was not only that, but Trouba had to skate around him to go the distance.
Yeah, but he was already on his. He fell, so he gets his shot.
My point is, it took time for our team to react.
Oh yeah, we're down low, pressuring. We're on the power play. It was an unfortunate time to make that mistake, and they capitalized. Now the Hurricanes would eventually capitalize in the third period, and I was quite nervous going into the third period because I'm thinking, okay, it's an elimination game. We've already staved off elimination once. We're at MSG. They've got a 1-goal lead. We've already made several plays in the second period, and I thought our second period was actually pretty good. Shots were 9-9 in the first, 9-6 in the second. Hurricanes, you know, I was really worried going into the third, right, that they would just kind of slump, you know, just drift away, right?
Right.
You know, the Rangers, I was thinking we're going to really lock down the middle of the ice and not allow anything to happen in there and just kind of put the game away, right? Shesterkin, in my opinion, was already in the heads of the Carolina Hurricanes. They had given up a couple opportunities where they overpass it instead of shooting it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The thought with the Hurricanes, at least what it seems like, is if he's going to see it, he's going to save it. So we got to do something where he can't see it, or we got to get him moving side to side on a one-timing effort. Just shoot the puck, okay? The way that Steph Mason scored his goal in Game 4 was Turbo taking a bad angle shot. That shot has no intention of going into the net, but it's purely to cause chaos in front of the net. Like, feed into your mantra, cause chaos. Like, that's what this team's identity is, and it largely worked in the third period. Jordan Staal leading that charge. He makes a really nice play. Orlov with a great pass, okay? Really nice
play, Orlov to hold up.
The Svechnikov-Aho line had just gotten off of the ice. Orlov held up just for a second to allow the line change to happen. Staal coming in. He receives a nice pass right over the blue line as Stahl's coming in with speed. He gets around the New York Rangers defenseman and then goes forehand to backhand using that tall frame to beat Shesterkin. Really nice goal to get things started. He was amped about it. He's fourth in high danger scoring chances across all players in these playoffs. He's fourth.
Yeah,
and that was his first
really
goal.
Well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was bound to happen. It couldn't have happened at a better time. The Hurricanes do have a I don't want to jinx it, but they've got this like feeling about them this year where they're never out of games. They can really get it done. And they've always been like that under Broad Brindamore, but it's different this year. We've had multiple games where we're actually scoring goals where we have the empty net. That hasn't been the case in years past. Like,
yeah, right. I agree.
There's a little bit of mojo to this team when it gets dangerous, when it gets like, dire straits. They are able to just find it somehow.
Well, let me piggyback on your cause chaos comment. Well, in my opinion, all three goals were hustle plays.
Yeah, no, they were Hurricane style goals.
Yeah, they were Hurricane style goals. We've been talking about it all along.
Mm-hmm.
Shea hits the pad, a rebound, just as Kuzi times it perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
He beats Panarin,
and
then he goes top shelf. Same play with the one you're talking about with Steph Nason. And I saw Kuznetsov at some point during the game get mad at Kokoniemi because they were cycling, and Kuznetsov was planted in front or in that area, and he got mad because Kokoniemi did something. Either he passed it back but he got mad at KK, and I know why. He's like, just throw it at the guy's pads. I'm right here for the rebound. Those are the smart players. The veteran players like Stahl, Martinook, they know to use the pads as a way to get the puck to the guy charging the net.
Yeah, it's an indirect pass. It's
right.
It can be quite effective. But yeah, I think all the goals that were scored this game were Hurricanes identity style goals, right?
Right.
You've got the Stahl goal, then Kuznetsov, like you said, and then Martinook after some really good hustle by Drury. Essentially, he hits the New York player. Natchez picks up the puck, throws it in front of the net. Drury actually touches it again right before he nearly intercepts Martinook's and prevents Martinook's goal, but kind of hands it off to him. And then Marty with a nice shot glove side to beat Shesterkin. But yeah, that was all kind of a chaotic, quick play. Hurricanes grab control of the puck really quickly, throw it in front of the net, and good things happen, right? Like, they close out the game. The Rangers didn't really have a press, which was impressive. The air got sucked out of MSG when Kuznetsov scored.
It did. It was
that barn was dead.
Yeah, they just have. I guess they must be shell shocked from previous series.
Well, 2 years past.
It seems to be the theme. With all the video, the vlogs from Ranger fans.
Yeah,
they're all worried already.
Yeah, well, they've seen it happen 2 years in a row where they've had 2-0 leads and then only to get eliminated later on in those series. They've had a 3-0 lead in this series. It's now 3-2. It's 3-2. Hurricanes just have to get 2 wins.
Yeah.
They've gotten 2 wins in a row plenty of times throughout this 82-game season. It's totally within their grasp, okay? They just got to go out there and do it. I'm super, super excited because let's real quick. Natchez does get an empty net goal.
Right.
He's had a tough series in my opinion, but he at least gets on
Kokoniemi
on the scoreboard here. And I don't know if this was just the Rangers not playing bad or Rod actually just really showing trust in his guys, but the Kokoniemi line, they were out there with like, I think right before Natchez scored his goal, they pulled Shesterkin with like 3:45 to go. And the Kuznetsov line was out there just prior to that. So it just shows like a little bit of trust in Rod that he's willing to throw, maybe not the most defensively responsible players out there, when the game is on the line like that. So I don't know. Just something that was worth noting in my opinion.
I brought that up I don't know if it was last recording or the one before, but how we need to play all 4 lines because you're going to tire guys out.
Yeah.
I think energy is more important sometimes than skill.
Yes, and I think the extra day going back to PNC is going to be really nice for the guys. I think they're that extra day of rest. can bode really well. And of course, the fans at PNC are just going to be absolutely insane. I think Rangers fans think that MSG can get loud. No, it's not like PNC. I promise you. Shots on goal were 28-21 overall in this one. Face-off percentage, the Hurricanes really struggled. They only won 1/3 of their face-off, 33%. That is abysmal. That's terrible.
And like we talked about, that
cannot happen at home. We can't even be close to 50-50 at home. We've got to be better than that. Their stars disappeared last game. It's not going to happen multiple games in a row where Kreider, Zibanejad, all of these guys
Panarin
stay
had
off
one shot early in the first period.
Panarin's only had 2 shots in his last 2, in total in his last 2 games. He's a -5, -5 in his last. So that line, we got to keep exploiting the Panarin Lafreniere line. Take advantage of that while we can.
Yeah. Just a couple things. The face-off, as we talked about, Aho had a bad night. He was 1 out of 5.
Sorry, go ahead.
And then the other thing I wanted to bring up is we are now outscoring the Rangers in the series.
Good.
By 1 goal.
With just one game. One 3-goal differential game. That's crazy how tight the series has been. A couple other things is just, special teams, like I mentioned earlier, but beyond just special teams, the penalties that we took last night were exceptionally dumb. And we got away with a couple extra for sure. Right. And I've seen plenty of Rangers fans mad online about that, but I think the pendulum is always swinging back and forth when it comes to these playoff series and the way they're officiated. In the beginning, I thought definitely it went the Rangers' way. Now it's going Carolina's way a little bit. Hopefully the last 2 games here will be pretty much neutral. And I think the refs did try to stay out of the game as much as possible on this past game. But Kuznetsov with a stupid slashing penalty in the first.
That's his second stupid ozone penalty.
It's an offensive. We've got the puck in the offensive zone. He's in front of the net. He cross checks Eric Gustafsson and then slashes him as well. Like, do one or the other. If you keep going, they're gonna, you're causing a lot of ruckus. They're gonna see it. Okay. Then Dmitry Orlov, he goes after Adam Fox. That was a stupid play. Fox had gotten rid of the puck, so Dmitry Orlov can't hit him because the play is past him by that point. He knows he can't hit him, but on his way in, he reaches out and taps him in the face with his gloves. But Fox is skating at not in full speed, but close to full speed, enough to make him fall down. So just stupid on that. And then Svechnikov, a delay of game penalty late in the game.
Yeah, he panicked.
He makes the right play by flipping it, but he's got to know how strong he is. Just dumb penalties. Burns got away with a couple.
Yeah.
He completely interfered with Rempe, was nowhere near factoring in on the play, completely took him out. On the Rangers power play, he also breaks his stick over Zibanejad's back. No call there. So I'll cop to both of those Rangers fans, but the series is it's even in my eyes as far as that's concerned. We'll see if it stays out of Game 6 and Game 7.
Yeah, I'm more I think about it, the more excited I get. I went back and watched the game, and I'm thinking, you know what? I think if home ice prevails, then Game 7, anything can happen. And you know what? I just had flashbacks because you remember the Rangers took us out on home ice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Was that 2 seasons ago?
Yep.
Okay. Payback is MF. You know what they say.
Yep. So I think that's a pretty good note to end on, unless you've got anything else.
No, that's fine.
All right. Well, let's go Canes.
Go Canes.
I think it's going to be an exciting. I'm so glad. So I was supposed to go up to Asheville to just kind of take some time off of work. And there was potentially a concert I was going to be going to on both Thursday and Saturday night. Now, I have tickets to Game 6. I bought them well in advance. But the way this series went at the beginning of the series, I thought, okay, yeah, for sure. Like, I'll be able to go up to Asheville on Thursday. There's not going to be any issues. They also hadn't released the schedule of when these games were coming out, until the series started. So I'm thinking, okay, we could do this trip. Now I'm realizing, okay, well, no, we've got tickets to Game 6. 100% going to go to that. And then I've got tickets to a show in Asheville on Saturday. But if we're playing Game 7, I'm not going to the show. I'm
No.
sitting at a bar watching that fucking game, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, this weekend is supposed to be a relaxing weekend for me, and it could turn into a very non-relaxing weekend in one of two ways.
Right.
And I'm hoping I can deal with the fact that, like I said, we're just kind of playing with house money if it does end up going the Rangers' way. But I'm so excited to be, to have a great weekend if it goes the Canes way. Yeah. So I think it will.
Thursday
Canes
night,
7. Let's go.
Thursday night, and then Saturday night.
Yeah, Thursday night I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'll be at the show, or excuse me, at PNC. But then I was going to drive up Friday morning to Nashville. So
okay, go Canes.
All right, go Canes. Bye.